It's not uncommon for me to get a question along the lines of, I wrote it, so now what do I do with it? It's a good question and one with no easy answers. So don't think of this continuing series as those easy answers. These are merely points to ponder. This week, I want to talk about how to use direct connections to get your script read. So let's say a friend of yours knows an agent, or for the sake of argument, they could be an executive at a network or a development executive at a production company. Knowing what you want to do as a career, your friend arranges for all of you to meet for lunch. Now you might be on cloud nine, thinking this is your one chance to get your script in the hands of someone who matters. So what's the one thing you should absolutely not do? Don't ask them to read your script. Talk to them about the business, pick their brains about how you might try to get an agent, ask for their expert opinion on what's hot and what's not, but one rule holds true. If they want to read your writing, they will invite you to send it. You can't forget these people spend all day reading submissions, so the last thing they'll want to do is read another one on their own time. I screwed this one up badly several years ago. A friend took me to lunch with a guy he knew who also happened to be a TV development executive. We had a nice chat and he gave me his email at the end of it. Of course, I stupidly wrote him that night and asked, "Would you read my TV pilot?" I never got a reply. Now this might be a tired analogy, but asking for a read for someone you just met is like walking up to a hot girl in a bar and saying, "Would you like to sleep with me?" There's a protocol to be followed, a seduction. They have to want to read your script before you can take things to that level. So be upfront that you're a writer. Feel free to even explain the premise of your script. But once you put it out there, trust that if your target did want to look over the script, they'd tell you that you can send it. I've had a fair amount of success with this method. So long as you don't treat these people like they're just a means to an end, you might even be able to get a read out of it. When it comes to people you're closer to, feel free to ask them for a read straight out. If they've read stuff of yours before, don't feel weird about asking them. And if you've read things as a favor to them, definitely consider it fair game to reciprocate. Aside from work acquaintances, friends, and friends of friends, I also recommend looking up alumni from your college and attempting to make contact with them. Now this isn't the time to ask them for a job or ask them to read your script, but frame it as you want to touch base with someone who has a common background and say you maybe like the benefit of their experience. If they agree to email you or meet you for coffee, take it as an opportunity to learn. When your connection is ready to read your script, they'll let you know. If you have questions, leave them for me in comments. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you back here next week.